when you're working with Git, often you want to automate certain tasks. So for example, if you use Git to manage your website, you want to automatically deploy your website on commit, or on push rather. So GitLab and GitHub and all these services offer like CI/CD. It's like a big thing, like continuous integration, continuous testing. Wow, it's so great. And they have all these their own little formats, like the little scripting formats, which isn't like actual shell scripting, but it's like a mix with certain environmental settings and all this stuff. And it's really, really bloated, all of it. And you really don't need this. So in the other video I showed you how to set up your own Git server. And in this video I want to show you how to automate certain tasks and create your own non-bloated, minimal CI/CD pipelines. So it's really simple. So on the right I have again my local machine. On the left I have the Git server. And we have this test project, and I've added another file, pow, and we have the file wow from the other video, and it really doesn't matter, but alright. And now we want to, let's say we want to, and you can do this either locally or on the server, and I'm gonna show it on the server because this is the use case I most often use this to, as I said, for example, deploy websites automatically and stuff like that. And on the server we have this test project Git folder, and we have like these Git folders with certain things in them. And the one directory you're interested in is the hooks directory. So if we take a look at that, we have sample scripts. And I mean, there's a script for pre-receive, or for pre-push, or for pre-rebase, or for post-update, and so on and so forth. The hook I just once looked it up, like how do I automate a task on server after I have pushed to a Git repository, and I've used this example file ever since. And so the one I'm gonna show you is post receive. So after we receive a push, and yeah, it's really simple. It's just, if we create a new file, we call it post receive, like that, and it's a bin sh or bash or whatever, and we can make it echo certain things. This is my CI/CD. Let's do that, and yeah, we're gonna call cat, and you'll see why in a second. Then we have to chmod it to make it executable. And this is just a normal shell script. So now if we change something in this while file, for example, add more, and then git commit -a-m, and just whatever, and then push it, we will see the normal push output. So this is enumerating objects, counting objects, delta compile, blah blah blah, boring. And then we see this remote, this is my CI/CD, and then this output here, so this is the, if we open that up again, this is the echo command, we call it, and this is then the cat command, because cat, of course, as you know, if you call cat, it waits for input. If we give it input, this is some input, and we press Ctrl D, we get the input back. Oh, well, no, let's do this again. Input. Yeah, we get it back, and if we press Ctrl D, it exits. So, yeah, and this is what's happening here. So this shell script automatically receives from the Git push this line here, which has three information. So this is the previous Git, or the hash of the previous commit, and this is the hash of the new commit, and this is the branch. Well, no, I don't know if that's technically the branch, but it's like, this is the branch, I guess. And this is some other Git thing, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not that deep into Git, I just want to use it to do my stuff, you know? Okay, so pretty simple. What we can now do is use this information to, well, automate further. So I have this example file here, example.postReceive, and this is like my go-to file, which I use everywhere and which I've adapted a dozen times. So let's just go through it. So it's a bash script, because I don't think that's POSIX compliant. I think that's a bash feature, or at least this here is this matching thing. So we want to read a line, and we read exactly these three elements. So old hash, new hash, and the ref or the branch or whatever. Then we check, all right, if the branch is the master branch, and we echo just some information. We this is just an example. We create some test directory, or ensure that it exists, and then we do this. And this is the most interesting line in here. So we call git with a work tree and a git directory, and we call checkout and the master branch, I guess. Oh, yeah. So again, I've just copied that from somewhere on the internet, but it works fine, or it works perfect. And what it does is it basically just calls git pull on in this directory. So it copies everything we have locally to this directory we specify here. Then we cd into that directory, and then we do some operation. So here you can do really anything. I've just decided to call cat on these two files, which are in the repository, and then output the result to now, to a file called now. And if it's not the master ref, we do nothing. So if we now copy that to this here, and yeah, it should work fine. Let's just, yeah, it's here and it's executable. Great. Oops. Yeah, so that looks fine. If we now let's just do this, pass that here, and we can do wow starts here, like whatever, it doesn't matter. This is just an example, but I mean, if you've done any kind of shell scripting, you know, or you get the point, I think, and that is you can do anything you want here. So we see we have the CI/CD test directory, which wasn't there before, and now we have our two files, WA and POW. We can cat that out. Yeah, this is the same file we have locally, and this is as well. And now if we cat now, we see it's wow and then POW. So yeah, pretty simple. And yeah, you can do anything well, it's a shell script. It just gets called by Git. So this is the simplest thing in the world, I think, and it's the most minimalist and elegant solution to have any kind of automation with Git. And you don't need like GitLab, CI, pipelines, and all this incredibly bloated stuff. I mean, what you don't get is a nice web interface here. So, but I mean, who cares? Like, that stuff is not important, especially if it comes with like such a gigantic bloated system that you have to set up and then keep up and then maintain and all this stuff, and it's just such a hassle, and you don't have anything like that with this solution. And again, I use this everywhere. Yeah, it's really great. And I mean, you can, this is a simple example, but you can run tests here, like, I don't know, called bun test or what have you, or some Python test thing, and then again, you can do anything you can do in a shell script, because this is just a shell script. Yeah, I don't know, that's it. I mean, you can even do, just to make the point, you can even do a web interface with this if you really wanted to, with like some I mean, you can do curl requests here, like curl something, whatever, with status, you know, status success or whatever. I mean, you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this if you want to. Alright, yeah, that's it. I hope this was useful if you didn't know this already. But I think this is really great, and it has saved me a ton of time and nerves and what have you. Alright, that's it. See you next time.